Hello class! Kamusta kayong lahat? I hope that everyone is just fine and doing well. Again, welcome to our English class. Today is another skill that we will learn and hone together. Right? So, are you ready? We're still in first quarter and we are in Module 5 with the topic Analytical Listening and Problem Solving. Most essential learning competency, employ analytical listening in problem solving. In this lesson, you are expected to employ analytical listening in problem solving, and you will hone your abilities to analyze the problems and provide solutions based on the given details. Well, specifically, this module will help you to examine the situation that is being presented by the listening material. Also, identify the signals of a problem in the text listened to. Provide possible recommendations or solutions to the problem or problems that cropped up in the listening text. And write a reflection to express your involvement in the global fight against this pandemic. All right, let's answer first these questions. Which of the following is not true about problem solving? Is it A, ability to solve and analyze the situation? B, skills that use thinking or reasoning? C, postpones the ongoing measures and monitoring? Or D, plan and pilot test the chosen solution? Okay, for this question, the answer is letter C. Next, question number 2. Which statement is not true about analytical listening? Is it A, ability to understand only what are people saying? B, ability to properly analyze what is being said? C, ability to divide questions into separate parts? Or D, ability to see logical connections? Okay, the answer is letter A, ability to understand only what are people saying. Question number 3. The following are the steps in solving problem except A, identify the issue, B, list all the possible solution, C, follow your instinct, D, choose the best possible solution. Okay, the answer is letter C. Question number 4. Which is true about problem solving? A, follow your instinct. B, rely on your memory. C, only the best solution is to satisfy everyone's interest. Or letter D, put down your differences, listen, and understand each other. Okay, the answer is letter D. Last question, number 5. Which of the following situations is an example of analytical problem solving? A, Anna postpones evaluating alternative solutions initially. B, Richard plans and implemented a pilot test of the chosen solution. C, Rose tries to solve the problem without data. Or D, Malen specifies short and long-term solution. Okay, and the answer is letter B. Okay, did you get all the five correct answers? Very good, if yes. But if not, don't you worry, because all of the questions that we had, the five questions that we had, we will be able to answer that perfectly as we go on our lesson for today. Okay, before we begin our new lesson, let's have first this news article. On your module or on the screen is a news article from CNN Philippines posted April 22, 2020. Okay, there are questions that you need to answer, and to answer those questions, you may use the graphic organizer. Again, read this news article. All right, after reading our news article, answer these questions. First, point out the main problem in the text. And then, after that, break down the problem. What are the other problems aroused out of that main problem in the story or in the news? Then, write down at least three possible solutions that perhaps mentioned on the text, or you think the possible solutions. And then choose the best solution for the problem. Okay? So for your application, take into action. Give a situation where you apply your best solution. Write your answer on the space provided below. For this, is there any problem happened or you experienced? And then, is there a time that on that problem you analyzed it and then you list down all the possible solutions for your problem? What was your decision that time? Your the best solution to your problem. What did you do? So just share by writing your experience below. Let us now proceed with our lesson. Listening is one of the skills that needs to be nurtured and developed, but it is mostly taken for granted. That's true. Sometimes we forgot to listen. That's why many problems are not given proper solutions. People easily jump into conclusions without analyzing and giving a critical look to such problem. Listening is analyzing and giving a critical look. We should not just listen. Okay, true listening is to analyze. All right, it should be a process of receiving, constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken or non-verbal messages. So as you go with this lesson, we have to employ analytical listening in order to solve the given problems. What is analytical listening then? So analytical listening is the ability and capacity to analyze what is being said through audio productions where the meaning is interpreted. We are doing analytical listening if we analyze what we have heard about. Okay? That is analytical listening. It is not just about understanding, but being able to look for a deeper meaning of what is heard. So I repeat, we don't just hear the words, we give meaning to it. It is also one of the foundations of good decision making. When someone listens thoroughly and analytically, it will be easier to understand a situation and come up with a solution rationally. So you see how important analytical listening is. Because if we apply analytical listening, we can make a good decision. Analytical listening is listening thoroughly so that we can come up to a best solution. Through analytical listening, one can come up with a better prediction of the problem and which solution or method would be best. So that's how important analytical listening is. So how are we going to use analytical listening in problem solving? An analytical listener can critically look at the problem. If we are an analytical listener, we can always or we will always look for or critically look at the problem by distinguishing the main problems from partial problems. So we can collect information and make logical connections and think of fitting solutions. So we have here a chart that could help us to analyze to solve the problem. So if you can see on the upper left, what is the first thing that we need to do? First is we need to define the problem. Okay. Identifying the problem will help us, of course, find the solution, and then this is the start. No? This is the start. So identifying the problem. Next is the process is we need to generate new ideas. So out of that problem, what are the given ideas? Anong meron? Okay. What are the things that are given? Like the reasons why the problem arose. Okay, who are the people involved when the problem happened, something like that. And then evaluate and select solution. So out of the ideas, out of the information that we have, they generate the ideas, what could be the possible solution that we could possibly implement. Okay, and then evaluate and select the best solution that you think fit the problem. Next, a process is implement and evaluate the solution. So this is the time that you have to make it happen or apply the solution that you generated or that you have on your list, the best solution. So this chart will help us to analyze, solve our problem. So if you have this process, defining the problem, generating the ideas, evaluating and selecting the solution, and then implementing it, okay, we are doing an analytical solving problem. So with this, possibly, we could solve a problem. For this activity, you will listen to a song, We Heal as One, composed by Ryan Kayapia. And you may see the lyrics of the song in your self-learning module, then answer the questions that will follow. Okay?
Handog namin itong kantang to para sa lahat ng Pilipino. Tayo na po't magkaisa at magtulungan para malagpasan po natin ang pagsubok na ito. Stay home. Tara, sabay-sabay nating awitin.
Sawari mo'y nag-iisa.
Lahat kanya-kanya,
Ngunit di man nagsasama.
kaya pang magkaisa.
sa pag-iingat.
Isa sa ating dasal, laging nagpapatunay
Na tayo'y makatao pa.
Together we are being called to make a future world. The test we face is for us to prove that we can heal as one. We heal as one with kindness. We heal as one. We serve, we share, we show compassion. We heal as one.
Pari mo'y nag-iisa.
But when we heal, we heal.
We heal as one. Isa sa pag-iingat, isa sa ating dasal, lahing nagpapatunay na tayo'y makatao pa.
Together we are being called to make a future world.
The test we face is for us to prove
That we can heal as one.
is when we heal as one.
We heal as one with kindness. We heal as one.
We serve, we share, we show compassion.
We heal as one.
Sa wali mo'y nag-iisa.
But when we heal, we heal. We heal as one.
With kindness, we heal as one.
We serve, we share, we show compassion. We heal as one.
Sa wali mo'y nag-iisa. But when we heal, we heal.
Yes, we will heal. We heal.
Yes, we can heal. We heal.
We heal as one. We heal as
Okay, these are the questions. Number 1, what was the song all about? Number 2, how did you feel upon hearing the message of the song? 3, name at least 3 artists who sang the song. What is the implication of joining them all? So what do you think are the reasons why the producer of that or the director of that song decided to join them all these artists? Number 4, react on the phrase, together we are being called to make a future world. Okay? Number 5, what can you contribute in solving the ongoing crisis around the world? So, we all know that all over the world, there is crisis going on. So, what can you contribute in solving on that ongoing crisis? Write your answers on your answer sheet. Okay, for activity 2, list down all the problems and the solutions presented in the song. Then write your proposed solution for. So just identify 5 problems given in the song upon listening it, and then the solutions to that problem or to those problems mentioned. And the last column is your own proposed solution for those problems. Okay? Okay, remember that analytical listening is the ability and capacity to analyze what is being said through audio productions where the meaning is interpreted. It is not just about understanding, but being able to look for a deeper meaning of what is heard. It is also one of the foundations of good decision making. When someone listens thoroughly and analytically, it will be easier to understand the situation and come up with a solution rationally. Through analytical listening, one can come up with a better prediction of the problem and which solution or method would be best. So, how are you going to use analytical listening in problem solving? That's correct. Very good. An analytical listener, or you can solve a problem using analytical listening by listening critically and looking at a problem. Also, distinguishing main problems from partial problems. Then you can collect the information and make logical connections and think of fitting solutions. Okay, for this activity, check your understanding. Conflict situations arise among family members in times of pandemic. This time, right? So many times, minor conflicts can result to violence. So for this activity, one must consider how to avoid or resolve conflicts. Interview one member of your family about the ways on how to prevent and solve or resolve each common conflict situation, and write your answer on the table below. So that family member could be your mother, your father, brother, or sister. Okay? For example, you have there the family conflicts, given family conflicts for the financial problem. You will ask one of your family members, so what are the conflicts that you experienced on your family about financial problem? And then on the right column, you list down how were you able to prevent it or the solution that your family did. Okay, same as the conflict about rivalry between siblings. Just give one problem that you had, no, and then what are the things that you did, or how are you going to prevent, or what are the solutions that you can do or you did, no, for that problem. Also for health problem. Okay, same process, right?
find this lesson helpful, like, share, and subscribe.